Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Down Over. We are doing a special show today. We're starting, let's see, what time is it? We're late today, sorry. If you're all watching live, we're sorry, we're late today.
Tech Down Over with technical issues.
With technical issues, we're Tech Down Under. So, anyway, here we are. I'm joined today by, I'm Rick Zanotti, and I'm joined by my good friend in Melbourne, Australia, Geoff Blanchard, who's our co-host. How you doing, Geoff?
Good, thank you, Rick. Sorry for the delays. It was a bit of trouble on my end, but the old IT trick always works. Pull the plug out the wall and plug it back in again.
I think you need to sell the Mac. For years I've been telling him, sell the Mac, go PC.
Not the Mac. It's not the Mac.
It's not the Mac. What is it, Telestream?
I think so, yes.
It could be, yeah, that could be. On the Mac, though, but that's Wirecast. Yeah, we've had that problem. Anyway, we have with us today Christian Gracz from Germany. Well, he's actually Polish in Germany. And we'll start the show right now. Here we go. And we are back. And joining us today is Christian. How are you, Christian?
Hello, I'm fine. And you?
I am great. Now, it's pretty late your time. It's about 12:16 right now, I think.
Yeah, it's 12:16.
And so thank you very much for coming on at a late hour. And we met you through the show. I think you made some comments, and I think...
Yeah, I made some comments.
And I think Sarah answered, and I said, hey, why don't you invite him? So Sarah invited you, and you said, sure. So that's fun.
So I know.
Well, you're, I think, the only viewer we have, so that was actually very important to have you on. So, got to have one viewer. Anyway,
just myself, yeah.
Now, Geoff speaks German pretty fluently.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Nein, meine Deutsch ist nicht sehr gut. Ich habe nicht die Gelegenheit zu Deutsch üben, aber ich versuche immer. Und mache ich viele Fehler.
What did he say?
Well, it's not that important.
Not that important?
I didn't say anything horrible or wrong anyway.
It was not horrible.
But I said I'm okay, but when people start speaking fast, I lose track and my mind just goes blank. So
that's funny. Yeah, Geoff works for a large company in Germany, but he's in the Australia office, and which is a good. He's had a good time with them. They're good folks. Anyway, well, yeah, it's interesting. Christian also is a Panasonic guy. He shoots with the G9. I think he has a GH4. So.
Yes, I have both cameras. I bought the G9 some weeks ago, but I think it's a really good camera. I used the GH4 for 3 years. It was my main camera, and I shoot everything with it, like portraits, concerts, and events.
Now, have you had, everybody talks about this, and I've used the GH4 for professional shoots. Have you had the focus issues?
Well, I didn't notice it, to be honest, because I didn't notice it. I never heard of it before.
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't had the issues in the corporate work we've done. I've had it when we've tested, when we're trying to do following. If we're trying to follow someone, sometimes it has problems. Other times it works fine. In our testing, it's been working pretty well. Geoff, you really haven't had a problem with the FZ1000, which you also have, same operating system. Your focus has been good, right?
Yeah, mine's been fairly good, and I was pleased to see even better from Panasonic. There was a new release of firmware, I think, this week, the 4.3 for the 9 and the GH5 and that.
Oh, it did come out?
People's doing tests, and that's even improved what people say are the downfalls of it even better. So
I haven't heard anything about that this week, so I need to go get so the downloads are available.
Yes, because somebody's done a review on it already, showing on their G9. So.
And the G9 had better focus than the GH5. So, well, by doing the GH4, I hope they cleaned up some of the little issues and made it better. So that's good. We were talking a little before show about one thing we all love is the ergonomics of the Panasonic cameras. They feel so good in the hands, and they just shoot pretty much well. Now, when you shot in concerts, and of course, some of them I imagine were indoors or at night, and everybody always complains the GH4 didn't shoot well in low light. I didn't really agree. I thought when I shot at night, it was pretty good, not too much noise. And I wasn't shooting where it was pitch black. It was still light coming from different venues. Did you notice that you had any problems at night at all with the GH4?
Well, I didn't have any problems. Well, it has some noise if you raise up the ISO, but I don't fear the ISO, and I also love it. Nobody complained when I showed them my pictures, my photos. They didn't complain about the noise.
No. And actually, a lot of people don't think that the GH4 took good pictures. It did. It was a nice picture camera, too.
I love the pictures it takes. Nobody's complaining, so I kept using it, and I love it. I love the quality.
Now, I don't know if you've ever done this. Do you have the Metabones adapter?
No, I don't have them. I just use the Panasonic lenses and also some Sigma lenses and some Olympus.
What I noticed with the Metabones, I have one of the Metabones. I have two of them, actually. But the older one, when I put it on the GH4, I could put Canon lenses that were very bright, and some of them had just longer lenses, and it gave it a really nice look. It literally made it look more like an APS-C or even a full-frame sensor. It was really nice how it looked, and then the amount of light was one stop brighter. It was pretty good. I did enjoy that, and I have the Metabones for the GH5, which is weird. On one of my GH5s, it works beautifully. On the other one, it doesn't work at all. No difference. And I talked to a Panasonic rep, and he goes, it could be a millionth of a millimeter difference, and that's all it takes. So one works, one doesn't.
But also what I love about the GH cameras is that they can shoot both video and take good photos at the same time.
That's true.
Because I don't like switching bodies during an event, and if I have to take some good photos or even some video scenes, I can do it on the spot.
Now, I read that you like to take was it Japanese bands is how you started?
I started with Japanese bands because I was interested in Japanese bands, and back then I didn't have a camera. And I also shot with a very old mobile phone some photos as a memory, and then I saw that they didn't look good at all. I couldn't see anything on the phone or the photos, and I tried to get some other photos to see them from the day because I wanted some memories, but I didn't find any photos that were good, and I started to buy me a camera to learn photography by myself on the internet. I discovered some YouTube channels, and then I asked them if they want some photos because I started to build my website and so on, and they said yeah, try it, and they loved it, and I tried to get better every time.
It's fun. It's
really
a lot of fun. And
but shooting concerts is really hard if you don't know how to do it.
Right, it takes a little bit, but once you learn it, almost any camera is now easy.
For me, it's really easy. And this photo, for example, you shot before, I love it. This one, because it shows the whole scene and the motion. And this was actually shot with the GH4, I think.
Okay, that's nice.
But I started with the G2 in shooting concerts. If you remember this camera.
Yes. Actually, Panasonic with the G2, the G3, the 4, they've all been very good cameras.
It was really small, but it took really great pictures, and also only used the kit lens, and the ISO was really bad with the G2. I could only raise it up to 1600, but I even managed to take great pictures.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny?
Because the first one you showed, the first photos, they were shot actually with the G2.
Oh, okay.
From the first band. This one. These photos, all the photos here are shot with the G2.
They're very nice. Yeah, the G2 is a good camera. I know people who've had them, and they had some really good... I know some wedding photographers who used the G2, and they loved it.
But I just love the texture you get on the photos, because it's got that sort of like Unreal type effect but it's real. It just looks really good. I like the feel of them, and I think that's the key for photography, just getting something that's different than not that everybody else has got, and they do look quite different in that. Whereas people just can sometimes just take a picture of a concert and, well, it's just a picture of a concert. But those ones you showed me there were quite good. Seem to tell me a story of that. I saw that other one where you could even see one person's head in the corner with their hair up, and then they must be shaking their head and they come up on and you just happen to have caught that in the corner there. It was just an excellent picture. I saw one of yours on the Instagram where I think it was at an apartment block or something. There was just one lonely person sat on a bench seat at night. And I thought that was really good. I really enjoyed that.
I actually don't know what you mean right now, but I can look up.
It was on your Instagram, I think it was, but it was still sort of like just one lonely person sat on a bench, just sort of at twilight in the dark, and that it was.
I think I know which one you mean. This was actually shot also with the G2.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay. But that's the thing is, well, now you've convinced me. Now I was tossing up whether to upgrade to either a Sony or a Panasonic, but I think I'm just going to stick with the Panasonic. I keep thinking in my own mind, thinking that they're the better ones to go for. But,
and you know what, Geoff? You'd be right.
Yeah, and I've seen GH4s and GH3 pictures a lot, and they're still excellent. But I see people still shooting with GH4s and that, and they're still fantastic.
And I tell you, Geoff, the GH5 and the G9 take beautiful, gorgeous pictures with the color. Really, not that much worse than Canon. They're all getting very good at color science. Sony's got better color. Fuji, they all are pretty much matching almost to the color what Canon's doing, and that's great. That means we're not limited to one vendor anymore. And I think also because you've had the you have the FZ1000, and you had also that big camcorder, the HCX 1000.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think if you go to the Panasonic G9, or now you like to shoot more, so the GH5 or even the GH5S, though that is only 12 megapixels, you'll still feel pretty good with it.
Yes, I've also noticed with this week that's come out, which will help a little bit more, is the Ronin S has been sort of released, and the price is out there. I think it's about $6.99.
Well, that's
American.
not bad. No, so they finally came out.
Yeah, it will have been taking orders, and I've got a price there for it now anyway. So
that's pretty good. And you can put cameras that are similar to the Panasonics?
Oh yes, you can put up to 3 kilos, I think, worth.
Oh, that's not bad.
Pound.
So you can put the battery grip and the camera.
Yeah, so you can put one of your camcorders. You could put probably the 405 on it, the Canon 405. But it's a bit heavy, but it's got a mini tripod on it, so it sits there. But the great thing with that, you can put on like your G9s and that, and do the time lapse on it, and just have like a panning head on it as well, pan tilt, and pan tilt as well. It will do a pan and tilt on there, but you can program that in through the phone app. So that's another thing, rather than having to take just your big cumbersome slider with you. It really makes a bit of a difference. So.
I don't know how much sliders are selling now like they used to.
Oh, I don't know. I've got one, but it's just I can't be bothered taking it. You want to take it out, but it seems to be just too much trouble to do that. Now, Christian, what sort of things what sort of gets you out and about to take photos? What do you sort of go on a week and say, well, I'm going to go out and shoot this, or do you just get pictures as they come to you?
Well, I like shooting more planned stuff like events, concerts, and portraits. But sometimes I love going out doing street photography, or when I'm on vacation. I also love taking a lot of photos, but sometimes I mix it up with my mobile phone photos and my photos with my G9, GH4. And I also love taking videos. But many times I plan my shoots, and that's about it.
I saw you've recently been to Japan. Was that correct?
And this was correct. This was the first time where I could try the G9, because I saw it in the store. I forgot about the G9 being released. And when I saw it in the store, I got it in my hands, and I really loved the grip, and then I thought I have to buy it.
That's what I was wanting to ask, because I thought I've never been to Japan, but you've been recently. But when you go into a camera store there, how different is it to go into a camera store back home?
Well, the people don't go to you and ask you about everything, but they have like everything, every lens, every camera there, and it's like really nice. They have like everything, old cameras, new cameras, and they have like everything, especially in Tokyo.
That's what I was expecting. I thought that might be the case, because unfortunately down here we only get things when they've all been proven, and usually get it when the next model comes out. So it would be really great to see all this. Like I've yet to see a Sony, A7R3. I've yet to see one. I keep trying to find one of them in the shop. Still can't find one. So we're on to the A7 III now.
A7 III, yeah. And you know what? They're hard to find here too.
But by the time I do find it here, I know if I can find it here, I know it's not the one to buy, because there's something new that everybody else is buying. So, but I know as soon as I buy the GH5, there's going to be something. There'll be a GH6 or so. I don't know.
I don't think the GH6 will be out for at least another year and a half. They tend to release them every 2 years, and they took 3 between the GH4 and the GH, almost 3.5. Between the GH4 and the GH5. So I don't think they're going to release anything that soon. And they're still doing a lot of firmware updates. So I think you've got a good year and a half more on the GH5.
I think so. But what I love about Panasonic is also that they do a lot of firmware updates and keep updating the cameras. Yep. And I saw today that they have a new firmware update for the G9 and the GH5.
Right.
But I didn't install it yet, but I have to try it as soon as I can.
I didn't know it was out. I'm going to do it this weekend.
There's a couple of reviews online with one fellow I think it's in England, who's got the comparison. He's got 2 GH5s, and he's got one with the 0.21 and one with the 0.3, so you can see the difference. So by just looking at, there seems to be some effect, but as you know, both Christian and you have been saying, we haven't found much problem with that. I think the main problem is when people are doing selfies, and when people keep running in and out, they quite often do get it out of focus and that. But when you're behind the camera, I've never had an issue.
Well, no, and on the selfies on the GH5S, they fixed it. You can walk right in, and it sees you, and you're now perfect. And they said that's what they were going to fix the GH5 and the G9 with. Now, mind you, if you're doing a selfie and you could tap yourself, and then you'll be in focus forever. So you can tap the screen, so that would help. But no, I think, it's funny. Like I told you earlier, I didn't want to get the G9, and when I got it, it became almost my favorite camera. So and we have a lot of cameras, and I went, Sony, what? Did I buy Sonys? Why did I buy Sonys? I just like the G9. It's a beautiful camera, and I do like the Sonys, but it's funny. What inspires me more is actually the Panasonic. Go figure.
And I do like the ergonomics of the Panasonic, and I don't know about you, but it's one of the few cameras that I can get to everything quite easily, and it's not very confusing. It's quite easy to do all the settings on it. With all the other cameras I've used, there's always something that's slightly a bit different, but that is really nice and easy to use it manually. Whereas others, press this, do this, and I find that just extremely easy to use.
Yeah, that's true.
What I also love about the G9 is that I loved face detection about the GH4, But the G9, I saw, it tracks not only faces right now, but it also tracks the whole person, the objects, and
yeah, it tracks your body. So if you turn around, a box goes around your body, and it still tracks you. And then when you turn around again, it goes back to your face.
Yeah, when I saw that, it was really awesome. And what I also love is the stabilization that is built in the camera. It really helps with the video, but also I noticed when I started shooting for the first time last week or 2 weeks ago, a portrait session, that if you press half down the shutter, the stabilization kicks in and you can frame the subject really easily.
Yeah.
Even if you do tight framings, you can easily frame it.
Yeah. Now, have you found that the G9 is a little sensitive?
It is really sensitive. When the first time I did a shoot on an event 2 weeks ago, where I did some videos by accident, and I had to delete many videos because of that. But after you get used to it, it's
not too bad.
Good.
It's not too bad. But in the beginning, when you first do, if you do it like a normal camera, you just go, oops.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Geoff, if you ever get the G9 in your hand, you'll buy one. I think you would. But I tell you, the GH5 also feels very, very good. G5 is a little bit heavier, a little, not much. And that one, again, you can shoot forever with it. You don't have to constantly change, wait, start over again, and that it doesn't get hot. We're finding it just works really well. When you do your events, Christian, are you shooting for a long time sometimes?
Sometimes for a long time, the whole night, because I'm doing like parties and so on.
Okay.
And next week I'm also doing at a Korean K-pop party some photos for some. They asked me if I want to do photos, and
so in Germany, K-pop, K-drama, very popular, right?
It's right now. It's really popular.
Yeah. Do you like K-drama?
I also listen to it, and that's why I think I got into it. But
my wife is a K-drama fanatic. She loves K-drama. She likes C-drama, Chinese drama. She likes K-drama, and a little bit. She's Japanese descent, but she's from here. She doesn't like J-drama anymore because it's not as good as it used to be. But she loves K-drama and she loves C-drama. It's just sort of funny. Every night it's like watching in bed just all the C-drama. She loves it.
And what's also important for me is the battery life. I love the battery life of the G cameras from Panasonic, because I heard the earlier Sony cameras didn't have good battery life.
They're better now.
And now I heard with the A3 it's much better, but with the G9 I can shoot like forever in an event. Maybe I have only to get one spare battery if I'm shooting a lot of photos, but that's about it.
Well, we went to Hawaii and shot the G9 only, and we were there for 7 days, and we shot almost all 7 days with 2 batteries. We had the battery grip, really one awesome. Inside, one in, and almost 6 days of shooting. We shot, over 500 shots, 700 shots, and we did some videos. And then only the last day, I think, or the day before, we had to put in one new battery. And it just kept going. I was surprised at how efficient it was. And it's the same battery in the GH4, the GH5, GH5S, so it's a very good battery.
And one of the things I like with the Panasonics as well that the Sonys don't have, they do have a built-in time-lapse.
Yes.
But it generates the video too, where you don't have to take all the pictures out and create your own time-lapse. Right. And whereas the Sonys, the current range, they don't have that in it. And a lot of people, would like to do that, so they have to have an external use, and they can't use the app anymore because that won't work on the latest range of Sonys.
But you know what? Even when they had the app, it was hard to use. It was hard to get, to download, to put it in. It wasn't easy to get apps into the Sonys. It was kind of a pain, actually.
I'm not into. I'd like to use an account, but if there's anything you have to add in external, I'm still not even a big fan of using, even on the Panasonic, using the phone to control it. That might be fine if you put it on a tripod, but you're just using the camera. I don't tend to use a lot of them. But out of the cameras, I still find that Panasonic app for the phone, and that's been really, really helpful because you can still tap on your iPad for focus, and you can change everything on it. Like some of the apps only control certain things, but that's
well, Geoff, you remember that Sound Devices Mix Pre 6?
Yes.
Well, we had one and we sold it. Oh, I rebought it again. I'm feeling like Peter Gregg. You know, Peter Gregg, I think, bought the ADD 3 times, and twice he bought a 5D Mark IV. It's like, I'm feeling like him because we sold it, and then I realized, honestly, we didn't play with it that much, and I didn't realize that the GH4 and the GH5 can control the audio recording automatically on the Sound Devices with the HDMI cable. And I went, oh, I need that because we're doing that event shoot in July, so I went back and got it because that will save so much time, and it also generates time code for it. And now, so when you're done, you can sync in post in seconds. So I felt stupid. Selling
As
it.
we do from time to time, from the decisions we make with camera gear, and then and it's like everything, you don't really appreciate something until you don't
until you lose it. But no, that's true. But I felt really stupid buying it again. I think I still have the money from when we sold it, so I'll just apply it to it. But it was like I was getting rid of a lot of gear we didn't use much, and right when I get rid of it, I actually need it. So, because none of the other recorders have the sound quality or the capacity to do what this one does. So here we go again.
I did see. Do you have a YouTube channel or not as yet?
I have a YouTube channel, but I only post some video stuff right there. I want to do some behind the scenes, but I don't have the behind the scenes done yet. But I also do visit a lot of cosplay events.
Ah, okay.
And I do videos there of the cosplayers. Also, I have some earlier concert videos there filmed with the G2 and GH4. Right now I'm working on another cosplay video and filmed only with the G9 in 4K 60p.
That's good. Now the videos on your YouTube, you shot those videos?
I shot all of the videos myself.
Oh, interesting. I watched some of them today. They were very nice. I didn't know if that was you or somebody else who shot them. They're very nicely done. And the music was very pretty. I like the music.
Yeah, I always try to use some good music because it's very important for me. But it's really hard to find good music for the videos you can use freely. But
yeah, no, these look really good. If you have a chance, Geoff, take a look. I thought it was somebody else. I didn't know if that was you, if you just posted other people's videos. They're nice.
That's why I was asking, because I was looking for his YouTube channel, but I thought he's bound to have one, but I couldn't find it. I just kept finding this other one that had nothing to do with you. So had one video, and I thought, that's not you, because I found her on your Instagram one, but I thought it's probably under some other name that I just didn't find or didn't go far enough to find. So.
Yeah, there's some nice ones on. Oh, go take a look. You'll like them. Like I said, I didn't know that was you, and those were really nice. I was thinking nice music, nice video. The editing was nice.
I've got one of my videos I won't put up, but it was one of my videos I did with one of my German lessons, and I had to recite a German poem and film myself do that in front of the camera.
Interesting.
I should put that up there in one of my German classes.
Now, Christian, what do you edit in?
I use Sony Vegas. It was called Sony Vegas.
Oh, Vegas. Now it's the German known now. Now it's Magix.
Now it's Magix Vegas.
I've been doing Vegas for I think about 14 years, 15 years, 15 years, maybe more. I started when it was Vegas 2, and I like Vegas. It's nice.
What I like about it is that it's really easy to use and it's really simple.
Yeah, and it's powerful. Have you ever tried?
It's really powerful.
Have you ever tried DaVinci Resolve 15?
I have tried it, but it's really complex for me. I'm so used to using Vegas that it was all mixed up.
What version did you try?
I think one of the newer ones, but I don't remember.
Because the new one I think is what, 15?
Yeah, new one's 15.
15. It's a lot like Vegas. It reminds me of. I think they took a lot of ideas from Vegas.
Yeah.
And the editing is similar, like when you do the little pulling to get your transitions, very similar in that way. I like it. I don't use it as much as I should. I still use Vegas and even Final Cut. I'm sorry, not Final Cut, but Premiere. I still use. Though I don't
tried
like
Premiere, but it was some.
It's hard.
It's hard. It was hard for me because the buttons are somewhere else and the shortcuts are very different.
Yep. It has a lot of power, but it's not the easiest to use.
But what I like using is After Effects sometimes if I have to. It's complex, but if you get used to it, it works really well.
Yeah.
Now that's what I wanted to ask you. You had one of your photos that I saw, and I think it was one of the music ones with a woman with a suit on, with like lightning bolts coming out of her hand or something like that. But it was just a very strange shot, and I just wanted to know, was that sort of done up in Photoshop, or was that how it came out? But it just looked really, the texture on it, really good.
Which one do you mean? I have so many photos taken that I don't remember right now.
She's got like lightning bolts coming out of her hand, like a, I don't know, with the.
This one?
No. She's got sort of like a. Looks like Xena the Princess Warrior, but with something, all stuff on it. I don't know. Oh,
I don't remember right now. I'm so sorry.
Really, on the Instagram, I'll have to find that. But
it was on the Instagram?
Yeah, I think it was on the Instagram one. So
I have to check it.
But it was just really, just the face and just the way it was done. I thought, it was actually real, or was it, photoshopped or done that? But it just looked, I just liked the texture of it and the way you did it. So, yeah. But she looked like a transformer in a bodysuit.
Interesting.
With all this thing on top at one of your events. But it just, they had her outside just by herself, a normal shot, and then there was another shot that looked really, really, really cool anyway. So. Yeah, it's probably hard to find. I probably should have found that before I asked that question on there. So, but with the way my system's going to, I'm too scared to start looking it up just in case it shuts me down.
Well, I can't find the photo, so I think I know which photo you mean, but I don't know right now.
Now, today, Christian, we're doing another show in about 45 minutes, a little less, 40 minutes. And this is with a photographer from India. His name is Sumit Mogue, and he is famous for photographing Bengal tigers, animals, landscapes. He's got some beautiful, in Nepal, some beautiful photography he's done. He'll be coming up at, what time's he coming up? At 4:30, right? 4:30 our time. So it's about, that's about 1:30 your time?
1:30. I will check it out for sure.
Okay. And we'll be going live at about 1:30 with him. It's 5 o'clock in the morning his time. That's early.
Oh, it's even more worse than my time.
Well, we are almost out of time. So, Christian, I just want to thank you so much for coming on board and joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
We'd love to have you back on. I think it'd be fun to talk some more with you and talk more about what you're doing with tech. And we haven't talked about your cosplay and all the other things you do. So I think it'd be fun to learn more about what you're doing.
Yeah, I will be glad to join you every time again.
Well, great. Appreciate it. So we will have you on again. We will put your information on the show notes. So if people want to go to your sites, they can do that. And again, thank you so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure meeting new people and finding out what's going on all over the world with our little art of photography. It's great.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was also a pleasure to meet you both.
Great, thank you. And Geoff, we'll see you in about a half hour or so?
Yes, you certainly will.
All right. Well, for you folks watching in the live or later on in the recording, please subscribe. Let us know what you think. Give us feedback. And definitely contact our guests, get information from them, and welcome them. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you next week on, well, actually, we'll see you in about half hour, on Tech Down Over. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.